Welcome to the Impact with AI SDG series. I'm Brandon Andrews, your host. I'm engaging with entrepreneurs impacting the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals with artificial intelligence and machine learning technology, AI and ML. I'll talk to an entrepreneur about a specific SDG and the progress made so far, their solution, and answer the question, can AI rescue the SDGs? Today, I'm joined by Himanshi Singh, founding member of Bearcraft Consulting from India. Excited to have a conversation with her about her business and how it's impacting SDG1, no poverty. But first, let's talk about how we got here. I was fortunate enough to be a host for the AI for Good Innovation Factory grand finale at the AI for Good Summit in Geneva, Switzerland. AI for Good is the United Nations AI platform and annual event. At the event, the UN Secretary General gave an opening speech in which he said he believes AI can turbocharge sustainable development. The Secretary General of the ITU, the International Telecommunications Union, followed Secretary Guterres by saying it's her wish to scale AI solutions to rescue the Sustainable Development Goals. The Sustainable Development Goals need to be rescued. Well, a lot of great work has been happening around the world since this framework was put in place in 2015 and launched in 2016 to we're about the halfway point now. However, many of the goals are off track and some have actually reversed course. Uh, COVID 19 has had a significant impact on that, but there's other impacts as well. And so, as we move into the second half of the SDG goal period between now and 2030, the question is, how do we continue to make good progress and where we can potentially catch up with some of these goals? So, let's get started with the conversation. Himanshi, thank you so much for joining me today. Would love to hear more about Bearcraft and how you're impacting SDG1.
Thank you for inviting me, Brandon. So good to be here, and I'll just quickly start about at how I know you better. Also, I've been fortunate to be get the expert guidance when we were just in making of the Bearcraft in Unleash 2022 India. But since then, a lot of progress is made. So, Bearcraft basically is started during the COVID-19 pandemic. United Nations reported that there is a loss of about 255 million jobs, which is 4 times more than the global recession. And not only this, we have seen, and a particular story that really brought me to make this business in place is there was a lady being trained in leather shoemaking for 25 years. The pandemic hit, sudden lockdowns were announced, and they were not sure of their survival, and they started moving back to the villages. But when the manpower move, a lot of these small and medium enterprises, their operational costing scaled up, and a lot of them were forced to shut down. And then we thought that there should be some way where we can connect these people with these small and medium enterprises globally. And then we thought of a platform which is a software as a service platform for the small and medium enterprises to bridge them with the rural artisans, whereas they don't need to move from their place, and the SMEs can access the services of these rural artisan sitting in their home, and the rural artisan get the work at their home. And we got this technology model in place, wherein you can come, you can select the artisans you want to work with, etc. Those artisans
Incredible.
directly.
So you saw a problem. Specifically, you saw an artisan whose business was taken away from them during the COVID-19 pandemic, and now you've created a solution to directly connect artisans like the one you mentioned to SMEs, small and medium enterprises, to be able to fill their shelves and to be able to hopefully ensure that these artisans can make a living wage. Thank you so much for taking this step forward and doing what you're doing, but also coming on and talking about it. Now, let's talk about SDG1. So, SDG1, No Poverty, is focused on poverty alleviation, specifically around extreme poverty. And the extreme poverty level is $2.15 per day in 2017 dollars. That's US dollars, $2.15 per day. So getting as many people around the world above that as possible. The 2023 UN report on the Sustainable Development Goals said that if current trends hold, again, somewhat because of the COVID-19 pandemic, but if current trends hold, 575 million people will continue to be in extreme poverty by 2030 unless we're able to accelerate the progress with this sustainable development goal. Himanshi, let's talk a little bit more about the artisans that you work with. What kind of living conditions, working conditions did they have before bearcraft? And as bearcraft gives them an opportunity to sell their goods, how is this impacting their lives directly?
When as we are talking about the SDG1, the beauty of the SDGs is that it's all interlinked. And when we say that if you don't have enough money, enough food, enough living conditions together with you, it's not possible for a person to be out of the poverty. We started with saying that the basic minimum we have to start with is to give the opportunities for these people to earn at least to a level that they can better their living conditions, and they can grow beyond what they are doing day to day. We increase the wages by 5x when they got back to their villages. So if you just on the number terms, you just talk about that dollar 1.2, but here our artisans are getting dollar 100 to dollar 200 per month to sustain their living staying at their home. So we totally cut off the cost where they need to get the transportation, where the other logistic costs are there, etc. We ask them that we will put the units at your home and please work from here. We have our community mobilizers to engage with you. And hence, just within like 2 years, absolutely, we saw about 50 plus artisans are earning and then saving a lot more, and that gives us immense happiness.
How are you using AI in your business, and how is it helping you deliver impact?
I would definitely say, Brandon, that AI is something that makes our life very easier. So when we started, we just say that we Bearcraft bridge the gap between rural artisan and the global small and medium enterprises, integrating United Nations Sustainable Development Goal. We are technology. Now we say we are AI-enabled software as a service platform. So there are multiple places where we are actually integrating AI in our business. A is when you figure out to train manpower, which is the trained artisan. Across, we have about 20 crafts listed on our platform. So most of them are the Indian, but then we have the some of the African crafts now as well on our system. So when you come on the platform, you're a SME, access it. A is you get to know about the trained manpower just by clicking onto the few metrics. The importance is just we want to see which geography you are from, etc., and provide you the nearest option. The second is where we are using is you can see the raw materials through this technology, which means that if we use cotton or linen or silk or anything, there are so many variants of it, like more than thousand of variants in every fabric, right? Now, traditionally, the people has to go to the shop, choose the linen, choose the fabric, and there is lot of transactions that are involved. That people moving, you go to the shop, lot of things are being used, but now you can just see the different variants of a particular fabric and pick and choose from there. And it's totally AI enabled, wherein you get to know the fabric better, and it's just by the few prompts you will be able to access your raw material, which saves you again a lot of cost but also a lot of energy to choose. The third place where we are using the AI is actually to increase the local economy. And how do we do that? So when you pick up the logistic service on our platform, it will give you the option to choose from the international logistic services, like your many more international logistic services and the local services. So basically, if you're sitting in India, you want to transport just within the borders, you can actually go forward and choose the local transporters to do your work. It's just been 6 7 months for us to to do that. So basically, it helped, but how it helped is beautifully that now we are also able to cater our pipeline better. When we were doing it physically, that's hardly like 4 or 5 clients we were able to cater in a month, but now the number is huge as well. So it's the benefit for all.
I love this ecosystem approach, really touching every part of the value chain when it comes to artisans producing these unique goods, getting them through the logistics service to the SMEs, providing a retail opportunity, and of course, taking the cost savings, it sounds like, and putting that back into the hands of folks in that value chain as well. So many of the SDGs are off track, they're behind. AI has the power to bring significant efficiencies, etc. What do you think? Can AI rescue the Sustainable Development Goals?
I feel, Brandon, if AI is used for good, it has the immense potential to impact all the SDGs across. A is because we are feeling it with our business itself, that how it is reducing our workload. That's one. But when you see that now around the world, when people are using it for the distribution in the for the farming activities and for many other technologies that are being putting in place, I feel like it has an immense potential. But also, if it's there needs to be thought through about
Yep.
that how we are aiming to use the AI, and hence I feel like there should be like there is enough opportunity for us to learn and do better with the SDGs framework that we have. And that's why we say that we integrate SDGs framework in our value chain, because it just helps the SME to be right at every transaction and every step that they are taking in their value chain. But by integrating the AI, it's just made that value chain more smoother and more quicker, right? So I'm just saying that if using AI, it has the immense potential, but only that we need to pay attention to what are the frameworks around AI that are going to be discussed in the global framework, because that is going to be the key area, when key points to be considered, that how going forward when it scale, and it is going to scale. There is no denying in that AI is not going to be our future. It is the future. You already see that a lot of the things are getting dependent on AI. Generative AI is one thing where we all keep on using it
Yeah.
every day. It has slowly become the part of us every day, and it's not like it's not saving our lives in doing the a lot of monotonous tasks. It is, but in the businesses context, and specifically I would say in the small businesses context, a is the scalability, which is much needed, because a lot of people are still getting their hands over how to go about and use this. But the second is that it need to have a good framework around the AI for people to use it in the best manner. So, but it has the potential to impact SDGs across, and of course, you're saving so much by just putting a little intelligence in place. I think, and I can absolutely tell you in concepts of the footprints that we are putting onto the environment, because craft value chain is huge. When you talk about the textile waste, you talk about the transportation needed, you talk about the work that's been done, the machineries needed. The footprints are huge of the fashion, lifestyle, and craft industry. If you have started saving some, I think it's a great impact, and you can reduce it
Yeah.
going further, because the technology is just going to get smarter. So I feel like if it can impact the industry, which is the second most polluted, it
I
can do
love
wonders
hearing
across the SDGs.
practical applications, real world applications of artificial intelligence. We hear so much about what artificial intelligence can do or will do and what can happen in the future and what's next. But a lot of work is happening right now in delivering value right now. If AI is going to impact the SDGs, turbocharge the SDGs, even rescue the SDGs. We have to scale these solutions. So, what would it mean for your solution to scale?
We already started scaling, Brandon, around the world. So very happy to say now we have the clients in India, but also in US and parts of Europe as well. So and these are very small boutiques who are taking advantage, as the platform is for the small and medium enterprises. They are already taking advantage of how they can work with the craftspeople in India and with the craftspeople in Africa without having the mediators in place. So I feel like the scale is huge. What we want to do is we are aiming to have about 100 million artisans to be listed on bearcraft platform across the world, so that everybody can take use of that opportunity. That diminishes the line across the border, because sitting in India now, I can make my product with any craft and I know who the craftsperson is. And I think what I need is just the technology to get better and stronger for us to really reduce the cycle of going everywhere, taking much more flights to do the interaction. And I want the technology to be accessible in a way that it reaches to the rural audience, where we aim that at certain point in time the artisan should be able to communicate their ways directly to these SMEs.
You're obviously having a big impact in India and across the world. The lives of artisans are being directly impacted by the work that you're doing, and it sounds like AI is really helping you to turbocharge your impact by bringing efficiencies in your business and in the business dealings of the ecosystem partners that you work with as part of your solution. So, congratulations again. Thanks so much for joining us for our Impact with AI SDG series conversation about SDG1, no poverty. Before we go, where can people find you and Bearcraft online if they want to connect?
Yeah, so you can connect with us on our Instagram, LinkedIn, and Twitter channels. And please feel free to book appointment with us at
Thank you.
connect